Hello again, Cancer, and I hope all of you had a wonderful Valentine's Day. So before we begin your reading, I have two cards here for you, and these two together speak about what may be going on internally for you guys right now. So from Le Vampire, you pulled natural, authentic, real, and organic. This card talks about that there may have been an over-reliance on ways of identifying who you are. This card is basically telling you that your status, your job, your wealth, and none of that stuff defines who you truly are. And, you have to be careful here about having too much reliance on the feedback of society. The blessing here is taking away the trappings of money and power and status and being left with the things of spirit. And that this creates balance in a centered, strong core. And then when you look at that with perfection from chakra wisdom, this one gets a little deep because it says, I have the same high standards for myself as I have for others. This card is asking, are you being too hard on yourself and consequently on others? Begin to look for what's right and good in your world and you will see it. And then the key ideas here are alienating others and feeling alienated and seeking perfection. Now, when I look at it between the two, it's like, you're wanting to get back to who you are naturally. And, you have to be careful about that feeling of needing to be perfect, being on that pursuit of perfection and looking at it with natural, it's like almost conflicting. I just worry here that maybe you're being a little bit too hard on yourself and you're too worried about the way that society views you and needing that kind of feedback instead of just tapping into the true nature of your own soul. All right, Cancer. Here's the energy coming through. Wow. Now, the Queen of Wands, to me, looking at what you pulled with the Oracle cards, I feel like it needs to be said here that you really need to be careful about coming off as self-righteous. I just feel like that needs to be said. Now, with the Queen of Wands being the signifier, this could definitely be a fire sign around you coming through. This is somebody who is very dynamic, very popular, very pretty, She knows how to take control of her situation. And she also knows how to organize the people that are around her. Now, I feel like this competitive spirit, like looking at her right now. Now, this could be your energy or somebody else coming through. So we shall see what unfolds here. But seeing her with those two cards, you need to be careful here because the whole point of natural is getting back to who you are. Oh, and in the past, so the Knight of Pentacles, seeing that to me is saying that you're getting really good news in regards to your finances and work and creating more security in your life. Now, seeing that with the Queen of Wands, if you're working toward creating more security in your life, you need to be careful about the way that you present yourself. I feel like that needs to be said. You don't want to come off as arrogant and a know-it-all. But, with the Knight of Pentacles coming through, yeah, it's good to see. It signals some hard work, but definitely good news when it comes to new work, creating more wealth in your life. But that queen. Oh, yeah, I had a feeling. So, in the present, the Seven of Swords. Man, oh man, seeing that with her, I worry here like something may have been taken from you. And there's this feeling now of needing to protect what's important to you. And this may have to do with, a work situation. But, I worry here that I feel like something's been taken from you. And it may have to do with this person here. And where you thought that you were getting good news, it's like, what the hell happened? Now I feel like I'm having to leave stuff behind, or I feel like, something's being taken from me. And now it's like you're trying to gather up and protect what you have. Yeah, future conditions. So I would be really careful about the people that you're interacting with right now in regards to what you're trying to create as far as, job, security, things like that. Seeing the Eight of Cups, man, it's like, and the Seven of Swords, yeah. The Eight of Cups is about moving on emotionally before we do physically. It's like you've built something, but emotionally you're just done with it. It's wore you down. It's no longer fulfilling for you, and there's a need now to leave it behind and move on a different path. But I don't know. I have this strong feeling that this is something that was done to you by somebody else. But it's like emotionally, you're just done with it. I've worked so hard for this, but it's no longer fulfilling me, and I lost here. I need to gather up what I have left, protect what's important to me, and move on, because this just isn't enough anymore. Oh, the best path to follow. Now, seeing that underneath that Queen of Wands to me is saying that, there's going to be some balance here in regards to what may have been done to you. So justice, again, it's like making amends for past mistakes and past wrongs. But not only that, but the big thing here with me too is it's letting you know that whatever's been done to you, whatever wrongs have been done, will be corrected. There will be balance. It's not going to be by your hand, but you will have that balance back in your life. And I don't know. I feel like somebody took something from you that you've worked for, and now it's like what's left just isn't, it has emotionally drained you, and now you have to walk away from it. But seeing justice is the best path to follow. It's like you need to forgive and forget, basically. It's like whatever this person did, again, I feel like competition with her when I look at her, especially with everything that's surrounding her and the oracle cards. Man, this is rough, Cancer. The feeling is just overwhelming here. Justice, you have to let this go. Clearly you have to let it go to get that balance back and to take a different path. And in your environment, the messenger of conflict, I feel like, there's almost this feeling where there's like some court battles going on even. But seeing that, it's like this person's created some conflict in regards to the things that you had built in your life, and you're done with them and you're done with the conflict because you've had to leave too much behind here. And you're needing balance out of this because this is just too much. It's too much. And I feel like this person may be responsible. Now, when you look at the advice behind it, this is telling you to step into your own power and take control of the situation. But I can't help but feel like this is somebody coming through because that feeling of, competitiveness comes up around her, especially with perfection. It's like, man, it set the stage for you to, need to not rely on how other people view you anymore. Like, you need to get back to who you are, but be careful. Like, you can't be going through this and then, wanting to just be perfect, because it doesn't work that way. Like, man, Cancer, this one's rough. Oh, yes, there it is. The competitiveness. Your hopes and your fears. I don't like this person because I feel like what they're doing to you is just shitty as hell, man. The Five of Wands, so I'm glad that that's what's coming up rather than the Five of Swords, because again, to me, it's telling you not to worry about that competition. that, you do have something to offer here. But, when you look at it across, it's like, what the hell did this person take from you? And why is it that they're creating this like feeling of competitiveness where it's set you on this track of like needing to seek some perfection when you are fine with what you are naturally? Man, oh man, I feel like this person is like trying to screw up the security that you're building in your life. And it's like you're done with them. Yeah, I'm done with this. This is just enough. This person needs to kick rocks. They need to go. They need to go now. Because the feeling that they're bringing up here is like emotionally draining. But then also, you have that mental backing too in the Seven of Swords. And it's no good. And that competitiveness, you know? Oh, and the outcome, yeah. I feel like what's happening here is that this person has created some major conflict in your life. Like they took something from you, and this competitive attitude is just creating this emotionally draining feeling. And justice is like saying, okay, we need to let this go now. And like, to me, it almost has that feeling of letting the universe take care of this. But you need to walk away. The Tower, and again, this card speaks about, people and situations that you thought were there for you are no longer going to be. You've built on a false foundation. It's got to come crashing down. Those people need to go. If this is what they're creating, they got to go. They got to go. They got to be done now, because what they're doing to you here alone is heavy. It just feels heavy. And I feel like this person is trying to mess with the security that you're attempting to create. And all it's doing is causing this conflict. And I don't, it bothers me because I feel like this person has set you on this path of looking at who you are and like having too much reliance on the feedback from society. I felt like there was a reason why the curse in that card needed to be read with natural, because, again, those things don't define you. They don't define who you are. You are emotional. You are emotionally intuitive. This is no good. It's no good. And it's like it's set you on this path of needing to have that feeling of perfection, I feel like here that this person has alienated you. And now it's like the change needs to happen, and it needs to be done with, because it's like it's going to be rough between these two alone. But again, the opportunity here is to build something better, which is the best part about that card for me, because, shocking change and the tower crumbling and the house of God, it's like all this destruction. But, the beauty there is what I feel like gets forgotten, that, once all this limiting crap is gone, what you build is much better, because what you've built here that may be involving this person is no good. It has emotionally drained you. And again, that competitiveness, like I feel like it was almost done on purpose. But, seeing justice again, you've got to, my big feeling with that sitting there is that, you need to let it go, and you need to know that whatever wrongs are done will be amended here. There will be balance, but you have to walk away from what is hurting you. And certainly don't let somebody influence the way that you go about looking at who you are naturally, because, they're causing this feeling of needing to be perfect. But you already are with who you are naturally. It changes your focus. So then you also pulled Take a Chance on Love. When we start to love, our lives are changed forever. So I feel like here, looking at this and looking at justice and the Queen of Wands sitting in the middle. Maybe if you attack this situation as having love for this person, even though they're doing some shit to you, it'll start to change your focus. But I really feel like the best therapy out of this is to really spend some quality time with the people that you love. And if you have that significant other in your life, focus on them. And I feel like when you do that, they will have patience with you and what you are dealing with right now. All right, Cancer. So this one was a little bit difficult, and the feeling that I have around this is like there may be some legal issues going on right now, but I think with justice as your best path to follow, it's saying that, there will be fairness and there will be balance. It's almost like an outcome is going to work in your favor. But man, whatever happened here, I feel like somebody took something from you that, left you feeling like just emotionally like, oh, it was too much. It was too much. And then they left you with this feeling of needing to protect what you have left. So, when it comes to the people in your life that may be trying to disrupt the security that you're trying to create, I would say that you need to be careful about being pulled into competitive situations with this person. If you start to feel that way, I really feel like it's time to walk away. I mean, with the Eight of Cups, yeah, it's time to walk away from this, because with the Tower coming out, again, it almost feels like there's this need to get rid of those limiting people, because what it forces you into is into the situation of looking at who you are, but then trying to be perfect when you are perfect with who you are naturally anyway. But that competitiveness, be careful here about doing that to yourself. Like, Cancer naturally is emotional and emotionally intuitive at that, just like the other water signs. And for you to be going through something like this, the anxiety it can create it's scary for me to think about, because I've seen it in Cancer before. So I would be really careful about, the people that you have in your life that may be giving these conflicting messages, making you feel like you're being pulled in to these competitive situations. They need to go. They have to go, because I feel like they're going to limit you. And with the Tower showing up, yes, again, the thing that's forgotten here is that you get to rebuild something better, and to have a chance to have better people in your life. Now, when it comes to the people that you have in your life that are better and are not pulling you into these situations, when you talk about take a chance on love, as far as that goes, to me, it's almost saying that if you look at this as like, you know what, you screwed me over, but I love you anyway, it's going to change your focus. And it may help you emotionally. It's extremely hard to do, but with justice sitting here as your best path to follow, I think that that's probably what you need to do. But this person needs to go, regardless. And then when it comes to have patience and spend quality time together, yes, in order to remove your focus from this insane stuff that is going on here with this person, when you start to focus on the people that are around you that love you, the energy starts to change. And I think it will be easier for you to deal with what's happening in the Tower if you start to do that. And I feel like there's this need to have patience for yourself, but then also when you do that and spending time with the people that love you, they will have patience with you as well with what you're dealing with here.